Now, there's been shocking news that Prime Minister Costa has resigned. What that means, though, is if you are interested in taking advantage of the NHR program, which is extremely lucrative for anybody looking to minimize their tax obligations and to live in a European Union country, now is the time to do it. You want to get your applications in as quickly as possible. Hello everyone, this is Ted Bauman, Chief of Global Diversification here at International Living and editor of Global Citizen, a service which helps you to find opportunities to diversify yourself or your wealth globally. Now, Portugal has been in the news all year as far as residency and tax issues are concerned. Earlier this year, of course, the country decided to remove residential property investment as a way to get its very popular golden visa. But then, a little bit later during the Northern Hemisphere summer, Portuguese Prime Minister António Costa announced that the non-habitual residence tax scheme, which grants a flat tax of 20% on Portuguese source income and no tax on foreign source income to immigrants, would be terminated in 2024. Now, the NHR has been extremely popular because even for people from other European countries, EU countries, moving to Portugal to take advantage of this tax regime has proven extremely lucrative. It's also very popular with many digital nomads and retirees and others who wish to settle in Portugal. The problem, according to Costa, is that this additional flow of immigrants into the country has put pressure on housing stocks. And of course, that is one of the big reasons for the Portuguese decision to cancel the residential golden visa option to preserve housing for locals. Now, whether that's an accurate diagnosis is really for others to decide, but the bottom line is that it represented a squeeze on potential immigrants to Portugal. Now, there's been shocking news that Prime Minister Costa has resigned because of a police investigation into some of his government's officials, including the chief of staff in his own office, accusing them of corruption in the granting of contracts and licenses for lithium mining and hydrogen energy projects. Now, although Costa was not himself accused of any impropriety, he decided to fall on his sword and resign given the gravity of the charges. And as a result, anything that he proposed for next year's budget cannot come before Parliament. In other words, there has to be a new government which has to resubmit a budget for next year. That means that the proposal to terminate the NHR will not come before Parliament before the end of this year, which means that it will not be part of the law from the beginning of next year, which was the threat. Now, whether the NHR is terminated by a new government is anybody's guess. Portuguese analysts are saying that it's likely that the president, which is a ceremonial position, will call for elections in January, which will then determine who's running the country, and then we can see what their policy preferences are. What that means, though, is if you are interested in taking advantage of the NHR program, which is extremely lucrative for anybody looking to minimize their tax obligations and to live in a European Union country, now is the time to do it. You want to get your applications in as quickly as possible. And of course, we have access to people on the ground in Portugal who can help you make these applications. Simply email us and we will help you to put you in touch with those people. Anyway, this is Ted Bauman, Chief of Global Diversification, signing off. Get that application in if you want to move to Portugal and save on your taxes.